Hey y'all, it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it till the crowd can't take no more. Then hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
We take a trip to Northern California to the Wine Valley for race 14 of 18 in the LIMECAr Sim Racing Challenge season. It's Sonoma Raceway playing host to the Toyota Save Mark 350. The winner is going to enjoy a very nice Pinot Noir from down the road, but we have 26 laps to determine who gets to take a sip of the winner's wine. Joining me in the booth alongside me is Bones Motorsports COO, and they're on a bit of a hot streak, Joe Caswanches. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident for our guys today. Yeah, good vibes all around.
Got a lot of Chevrolets up front here at a road course. We haven't really seen Chevrolet domination, but once again, as we may notice, another Crisis Racing Team car on the pole. Tyler Cook getting his first pole of the year. That's been a developing story. 7 poles on the year out of the 14 races. Over half of the races they have taken the poles. But we've got a lot of storylines to get into. We have 26 laps to go through. Joe, how about you take us through some of our race facts here?
Alrighty, so we have a 26 lap event. We're running the club layout here at Sonoma. About a 2-mile track with 12 very challenging turns. It's a very tricky and fast road course. And then strategy, it's gonna vary between a 1-stop or a 2-stop, and the fuel run is about 14 to 16 laps.
Absolutely, and could be a 1-stop, could be a 2-stop. Definitely going to be very interesting to see what drivers choose. I believe it's a pretty good track position race, so once you get out front, you're not going to want to let go of that lead. But we'll take a look at our starting lineup here. Row number 1 sees Tyler Cook for his first pole of the year and Ryan Barone. Row 2, Logan Williams, Christopher Manell, 2 championship contenders making up row 2. Row 3, Joe Kraus with his best start of the year, and Michael Guthrie, the points leader. Row 4 sees road course ace Kyle Mabey and Desperados Greenhouse Jr. Row 5 sees the 29 at Cam Arrow and Richard Fridge. Robbie Gordoff led a lot of laps at the Roval alongside Austin Green, who hasn't led a lot of laps this year. Justin Haley, the 99, making up row 7 alongside Chase Gibbons. Row 8, Blake Walker sitting next to Reed Simpson. Row 9 has Jerry Chen and Henry Guo, the DAF Racing row in row 9. Kaz Gralla, Ricardo Garcia making up row number 10. Row 11 sees Ian McDaniel and Christian Visconti, 2 really good friends. Nathan Stapleton and Hunter Collier make up row 12, last week's winner, the 60, or 2 weeks ago winner. Row 13 sees Quentin Haley and Matthew Fastnot. Ethan Harrison, Santiago Nicholas in row 14. Row 15 sees the 13 and last week's winner, the 16 of Zachary Ponce. Row 16 sees Braden Sigafos and Eris Yuko, who hasn't had a great run of races the past few. Alexander Rowe, Nicholas Soa make up 2 Chevys in row 17. Strokey Banger and Brayson Collins see the 18th row. Cam Wright Jr., Aaron Giffen, 52-62, row 19. Row 20 towards the back half of the field, Anthony Foss, Chris Lilly, and then rounding out today's 42-car field, Jordan Madron and Norris Toll. Any final notes before we head into these final paperclip-shaped horseshoe as we get set to go underway here at Sonoma?
Just make sure you got a cup of coffee, because this one can get real boring. But hey, hopefully we break that standard today.
As it looks like Tyler Cook got ran into the back of by his team owner, Christopher Marnell, as we're going to creep towards the restart zone to get us underway here at Sonoma. 26 laps, 2-mile course. We're underway. Green flags in the air. Here we go off into turn number 1.
Looks like it's 3 wide already.
There's
Also,
Robbie
what's off
Gordon. He's taking the
Oh!
and cars around, cars into the wall.
Huge wreck.
cars into the
Oh, what a
wall.
hard hit.
That's Joe Kraus and Kyle Maybe. We stay green. Cam Arrow and Discorius Greenhouse Jr. also involved. The yellow hasn't been thrown whatsoever, but Ryan Barone is able to take the lead from Tyler Cook here on lap 1. Logan Williams takes 3rd place from Marnell. Joe, let's take a look at this replay. Let's see what happened. I think this is all Robbie Gordoff's fault.
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean, he just... Go ahead.
So it looks like this Joe Kraus Kyle Maybe incident was a little bit separate, but let's take a look at what Robbie Gordoff did. I mean, he gets squeezed almost by the 29. He dives down and
Pretty unexcusable. Yeah, well, I understand getting squeezed and maybe being a little frustrated, but it is lap 1. He took out some bystanders there too. It's not really the other cars' fault, but yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what the officials are going to have to say about that.
Very interesting. They're saying let it play on. Garrett Lamar has also fallen back to what seems to be almost dead last place, as Quentin Haley, Ricardo Garcia have a little bit of a battle here. Garcia's been keeping it clean, and as we take a look at this final corner, we'll see the field cycle on through. Gordoff will not be penalized, as the 3 of Joe Kraus, 32 of Kyle Maybe, they're going to take their efforts to the garage. It looks like their incident was separate from the other incident. They kind of just came underneath him, but massive hit as Justin Haley goes off-roading there. Massive hit for Joe Kraus. We'll have to see if he's checked and released from the care center.
Yeah, it was definitely a massive hit, and as you said, that was his highest starting spot all season, so just got to feel bad for Joe. Got a good qualifying session in, and then hits the wall hard in turn 2.
Now, we mentioned earlier in the pre-race show, that's going to be the trouble spot. You got that uphill section, the left-right as you're going uphill. You're on the brakes all the way through with these really heavy stock cars. I wouldn't expect an incident like that would have happened really on lap 1. I would expect that to happen later on in the race as the brakes are practically melting underneath you. But we see Kaz Gralla here battling for 7th alongside Jerry Chen, just inside the top 10 or so.
Yeah, you mentioned brakes. Tires will not be an issue whatsoever, so I mean, there won't even you don't even got to worry about tires. It's honestly just a game of managing your brakes at this point. It's very new surface, so no tire fall.
Yeah, we saw throughout practice really not much tire fall off. You will come down pit road, you'll get 4 fresh tires. Obviously, fresh tires are going to be better than scuffed tires here, especially at a road course where you're going to be searching for grip, as Visconti barely misses the back bumper of that 60 car of Hunter Collier. We're going to go on board with last week's winner, Zachary Ponson, in 16, sliding it through the S's. I mean, Joe, to begin the season for you guys, we just saw an incident with Joe Kraus, who just really hasn't had the best of seasons, but somebody who's been able to turn it around has been Zachary Ponson in the 16 car. You guys have put a pretty good effort behind this group here.
Yeah, we realized that he was struggling a lot, and we just kept motivating him, kept pushing him. And Zachary's a guy who's just gonna be like a sponge, soak in as much information as he can to become a better driver. And the crew all around has became better throughout the season. Yeah, we're really proud of him.
And you guys as a whole, switching from Dodge to Ford, of course, over that long break, but you guys have really taken a step up, especially in the second half of the year. Even Austin Green, we see him sitting just behind the 33 in seventh place right now. Austin Green putting together a great run. Ian's put together some good runs from the beginning of the season. Had some good runs, but this time being able to complete those good runs, and then of course Hunter Collier as well taking home the trophy at Iowa.
Indeed, we're really proud of our team. Ian has had some very bad luck this season, but him being the owner, I mean, he's just happy to see his drivers thrive.
Joe Kraus checked and released, although a little bit dizzy from the care center. Kyle Maybe frustrated, had a few words with Joe. He has also been checked and released from the care center. They're currently sitting over there, kind of just talking it out. Kyle Maybe very, not exactly pissed, but definitely seems a little bit frustrated with how his day ended so early. Garrett Lamar in the 13 has fallen to 37th, by the way. He's sitting all the way back there after a 29th qualifying run.
So we just got a report that Maybe just called Joe Kraus a communist. So interesting.
Dive to the inside by Eudisquarius Greenhouse Jr. there. That's not atypical from Kyle Maybe, who, of one of the two solo car teams, we've seen a lot of good runs out of Grayson Collins, who's the other solo car. Kyle Maybe hasn't exactly seen such success on a large scale. After third place at the Coca-Cola 600, just hasn't seen really the success that he's been wanting, especially out of these road courses. The Roval didn't even start the race. They had an ignition failure, and then here, getting wrecked on lap 1. 2 races that he definitely felt like he could have succeeded in.
Indeed, it's a little bit of a shame because this is his bread and butter, these road courses.
Here's Reed Simpson. He's made his way up quite a few positions from his starting spot. He's sitting in the top 10 so far, as Ian McDaniel is going to try to get around the 27 of Richard Fridge here. Pretty difficult to get through these S's as Fridge really hits the curb there, and I think McDaniel is going to try to get the advantage. They're going to be side by side heading into the final 3 corners.
Off-roading it.
No track limits here. I think later on towards the end of the race, no track limits. Pretty self-policing. You do have the tire barriers in this final corner, and you have grass pretty much everywhere else. If you cut through the course, you'll be penalized by a damaged underbody or a bent splitter, or even ruining your day.
Ian goes a little wide there. That's something that I've picked up, is that a lot of these guys are going wide. They're probably overestimating how much speed is on the track, especially with this repave. So,
yeah, and it's been relatively dry here this weekend, but the new repave has been making a pretty slick surface for these guys. They not only repaved this course, but as you see right there, it's resealed as well. So the S's are resealed. Turns 2 and 3 have been resealed, as well as turn 5. So that's going to be something to make note of, as you'll see these guys, I wouldn't say struggle for grip, but as you just saw Braden Sigafos in the 10 there, he was practically all over that curve, just trying to find grip, and that's really the best way to get around this place. Especially as more and more drivers go off-road, they're going to throw more sand and dust and dirt onto the track.
shout out to our camera crew. We've had really good angles all day.
And it helps that Sonoma is a very photogenic track. Even with the dirt in the midsummer months being here, this track definitely produces some great camera angles to not only get solo shots of our drivers, like our current leader, Ryan Barone, who's led all 8 laps so far, but also those full field shots that we've been getting. So absolutely, shout out to our guys to be able to find great spots.
It's a very photogenic track, and there's also some very photogenic drivers in the field, such as Christopher Marnell, Ian McDaniel, and Dominic Anthony.
Well, Mr. McIntyre, as he has joined our booth from the CRT hitbox, I don't think Dominic is racing here this weekend. He hasn't raced since season number 2, but nonetheless, glad to see you up in the booth alongside us, Tommy. How are you doing today?
Oh, he just stormed out of the booth. Yeah, his nose is a little red, so I wonder if he's been sniffing. But anyways, back to the race.
We're in the cockpit camera with the number 17, Logan Williams, sitting here in third. We'll see how he throws his car around this course. He's just barely a half a second behind the 43 of Tyler Cook here as we head into the short suit segment here. This is definitely my favorite sector of the course right here, as they're just grinding through the gears. After going up the hill, they're going down the hill through the short chute into the S's.
Very technical, and a lot of guys going deep on braking, just like with Garrett's mom last night.
No, not ridiculous. Not ridiculous to say that. You see Tyler Cook using all of that curb there. Tyler Cook pretty used to using all of something. Ricardo Garcia definitely not using all of the curb as Quentin Haley did up in front of him. The 48 just holding steady right now in what appears to be 18th.
Single filed throughout the field, not really seeing a lot of battles. Seems like these guys are just settling in.
Whoa, big wiggle out of Garcia. Completely misses the apex.
Kind of reminded me whenever he wiggled under the wall to get through the border.
Yeah, I would say that one needed a little bit bigger of a wiggle, but nonetheless was able to save the car. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to save his poor qualifying result today. Our normal road course threat just has been kind of mired in the middle of the field here. His team owner, Strokey Banger, mired way back in the back of the field so far. Was top 10 at Coda and is not top 10 here, so Mudfish Motorsports just doesn't have the speed here like we've seen in the earlier races, especially at road courses.
Strokey Banger's #1 fan with the username I love Strokey Banger is going to be very disappointed.
Well, ever since the Coca-Cola 600 win, I mean, Mudfish Motorsports was the shock and surprise of the beginning of the season. They were able to take advantage of the other teams, kind of taking a little bit to wake up, but since then, kind of reminds me of Trackhouse over the past few years, although happened throughout the first 6 races and then ever since then. Even Santiago Nicolas been taking a step back, as Logan Williams and Christopher Marnell, they're 3rd and 4th here, and they're 2nd and 4th in the point standings with Santiago Nicolas in between them. With that 83 car nowhere to be seen up front, as we've got, honestly, we have 1st, 2nd, and 4th in the point standings right here in the top 5, and Henry Glow is not too far behind either.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, Logan Williams is going to be closing in on Guthrie's lead, so
and every point matters, especially with the points split that we see at the top of the field. I mean, first place gets 60 points, second place gets 50, but then there's the 2-point increments down for the top 5. And then, like 6th place is 2 points below, and then it starts the 1-point increments. But the difference between where Logan Williams and Michael Guthrie is right now, while it's only 2 positions on track, it's a difference of 4 points between them, which, of course, as you said right now, would be massive for Logan Williams to just slowly but surely chew into the 51's point lead.
Now, I'm hearing something over the radio. This is kind of coming towards the end of a fuel run, but it seems to be common with the Chevy drivers. They're struggling with some rear drive off.
Very interesting, especially as the fuel load starts to burn off. Definitely something to keep an eye on as the fuel load starts to burn off. Those rear tires just aren't gripping to the back of the track. So, great point, Joe. Thanks for keeping an eye on the radio and ear to the ground, I would say.
Yes, sir.
We'll see the guys slide through this final corner. Now, Joe, when do you expect to see some guys start taking some risks, maybe start hopping down pit road? We're exactly at halfway. We've seen everybody come down. We've seen everybody make it to halfway so far with relatively no issues. Who's going to be first to come down pit road, do you think?
I'd say, I mean, we mentioned the points. I mean, somebody like Guthrie, low key. I mean, if he pits right now, he'll be good on fuel the rest of the way. So, he may just want to pit, get them fresh tires, see if there's any way that he can close that gap to third, and possibly take over the points lead and further his. Oh, I thought he was going in. Further his lead.
Absolutely. Marnell got real close to the back bumper of the 17 there. We can just see the lead that Barone has. The top three under a relative blanket, I would say. It's comfortable. They're sharing a very massive bed if they're underneath the same blanket. Not that Christopher Marnell or any of these guys would be opposed to it, but even there, Robbie Gordoff still hanging on to that back bumper of the 51 in 6th place, and then there's a slight gap to 7th and further beyond.
Yeah, you mentioned the big bed. I wonder if they ever been to Diddy's house, because we all know how big of a bed that he has.
We are in California. Could take the trip down to LA. That is quite a drive, though.
Yeah, but fun nights, you know.
True. Kaz Gralla, Justin Haley, they're sitting inside the top 20. Two pretty solid road course racers. Kaz Gralla with some LMP3 wins in Pilot Challenge as well as Trans Am. Justin Haley raced quite a few Trans Am races before his NASCAR Xfinity Series days with Mike Cope Racing Team. And of course, don't forget Kaz Gralla, his number as well as his paint scheme, a throwback to a scheme that his dad ran. As there you go, Joe, I think you called it. Michael Guthrie, first one down pit road here on lap 15 of 26.
You know, I really like this call. I mean, they're thinking about their point situation and also just thinking about their situation in the race. I think this gives them the best chance to get the win. Has to have a fast out lap, though.
Absolutely. As I would have to imagine everybody else is going to come down pit road this time by monkey see, monkey do. The only other driver to follow the 51 down pit road was the 01 of Norris Told, who was in a very healthy running position of 38th. So we'll see where Ryan Barone, Tyler Cook, and the rest of the field are going to come down. I would have to imagine they're coming down this time. The radios are lighting up. Into pit road they go.
Yep, top three. For the second through fourth. So that's, I think that's everybody, right? Did Barone go down?
He did.
Yep.
We're going to see everybody come down pit road this time. The radios are lighting up. Pit crews are on the pit wall. As Norris Told peels away. The 51 has peeled away and is starting his hot out lap, and it's going to be a good benchmark to see how quick he's able to get away, how many positions he's able to make up. Looks like the 04 of Matthew Fastnot, he's going to take a gamble, stay out, as well as the 53 of Desquarius Greenhouse Jr.
Yeah, and I don't hate that. I mean, they're kind of not running the best right now. They just want to see if they can get a yellow, see if they can mess some things up. I like it.
I would say a yellow hurts them, actually. They would want a yellow right now.
Yeah.
As off and away they go. The 23 is able to barely stay ahead. And we're going to keep an eye on where the 51 is going to come out. He's going to pass the 33. He was already there. He's going to be right behind Marnell.
Sliding.
Yep, slipping and sliding. So in terms of time, he's closer to the back bumper of the 23, but in terms of positions gained, I don't... Depends on if he gets around this 23.
Oh, dive bomb.
His tires are warm, his brakes are warmer, he's able to get back up to speed quicker, so the 51 able to get around Marnell. That's going to be for 4th on track provisionally. Here on lap 16 of 26, we're going to see if the 04 and 53 come down pit road. They do not, as the 88 of Blake Walker gets sent into the grass.
Was there any cars that got put down a lap there, or did they not make it in time?
Looks like they're just now rounding that final corner, so nobody is going a lap down. And the gamble for Matthew Fastnot, and actually Norris Told in the 01 did get lapped, but looks like he's going to become unlapped as the 04 and 53 will pit soon. But the gamble for Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. and Matthew Fastnot may not work out, as Barone's going to come around here on lap 17 to 26. Let's see what happened with Blake Walker.
So coming out of pit road, maybe he just had an issue with, yeah, he just didn't fire out of pit road. It almost like if his engine didn't cycle well and he just got ran over. He was going really slow.
Yeah, he got a little bit of help from Reed Simpson there. As
it's an interesting caution, though.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe some controversy coming out of that.
Well, I think that's a racing deal there, as the 04 and 53 come down pit road. We'll restart on lap 19 of 26, Joe, and we've got the 01 and Norris Told out in front of the leaders. Barone giving him a big old bump. Not happy with how slow he's going around. But we'll restart here. Going to be an interesting run to the finish. We've got 8 laps to go here at Sonoma.
Green's out. And I apologize, my kitten's here in the booth with us, so if y'all hear him meowing, that's why. Why they're meowing.
Robbie Gordoff goes to the inside of the 23 of Marnell.
Well, Guthrie goes wide.
Oof. Goes wide as we got the caution coming out as we have a spin in the back on the restart. It's the 62 of Aaron Giffen. Racing back to the line as Barone goes way wide here. This is going to be critical for track position as we're going to bunch back up once again. But Marnell and Gordoff were really swapping paint there, trying hard to give each other that position away. Don't look now, but Austin Green sitting in 7th was looking off.
Barone.
Big wiggle and went way wide, went Barone, but that actually worked out in his favor. Now side by side is the 17 and 43 for second place.
Almost gave up the lead there, but yeah, you got the exit out of that corner. It shocked me. The 43 just didn't get exit grip.
It seems like with these cars, if you get them off kilter, off the line, they actually drive better, which is very strange. We've seen that at plenty of different racetracks. But Barone's going to come back to the line here on lap 19, on 20 of 26. For our second caution of the day on a restart. Joe, I don't know about you, but this seems like the very typical restart sort of shenanigans. Let's take a look and see what happened, but I can imagine what did.
Yep, I mean, we were seeing it up at the front, so probably just... And that's exactly what happened, yeah. Just the shenanigans that happened up front just happened in the back, just kind of stacked everybody up.
That's a teammate. That's Aaron Giffen, team owner of KHI, being spun by Cam Arrow in 29. Is the car that he helps work on and prepares and runs. It's going to be a long day at the shop.
I'm going to be a little critical about these officials. I mean, 2 cautions for 2 spins when someone may have been concussed after that hit in turn 1 or turn 2, sorry. Like that's a little interesting. No caution for the lap 1 incident, but cautions for little light spins. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Going to be some talking points on the podcast later this week. Lap 22 of 26. We saw a big lunge from Jerry Chen way in the back. I don't know if that's going to work out in his favor as we're really spreading out towards the back of the field here. Brian Barone is going to try to stay ahead of this 43, but he's slipping and sliding way all over the place. Everybody's all over the place here as the tires are up to speed. The tires are up to heat. The 17 of Logan Williams going around
43
Tyler.
really wide. So another,
I'll wait for the replay, but it seems like this yellow was a little bit warranted as the 08 of Soa was around on the racing line. But the 17 past Tyler Cook, we got madness all over the field here. Everybody's jockeying for position.
Yeah, track position matters. I mean, they're all bunched up because of that wreck. They're just trying to take what they can get. You can't wreck all the way back to the line.
It's like walking on eggshells here. Honestly, it was walking on eggshells even before this yellow. We saw a huge move from Jerry Chen that actually advanced him 3 positions on that race start. Christopher Marnell defending hard on the 51 of Michael
Guthrie. Gonna give him the bumper.
Big bumper out of turn 11 here into turn 12. As we race back to the line.
Before we cut to the wreck, it looked like Guthrie had gotten to the inside of the 43 car, but then I don't know if there was a mistake that was had, but he was up there to third right behind Williams, and then I guess he just locked it up and lost positions.
Yeah, absolutely, because that 51 is behind Marnell on the points leaderboard now. So let's take a look and see what happened with this 08 here, and he gets turned by, it looks like, I think Anthony Foss and Garrett Lamar helped him get around, and then the 53 of Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. goes around for good measure.
Yeah, Nicholas was kind of fading throughout the day. It's just didn't really go his way today.
Who does he get hit by? It looks like, the 04 of Matthew Fastnot and the 80 of Visconti barely hits him. I would say that's warranted for a yellow. We had multiple cars around and multiple cars running into each other. Yellow flag came out on lap 22. But as these yellows have kept happening, Joe, big bumper from the 46 to the 17th to the 46. We're going to be restarting with 2 laps to go here at Sonoma. 2-lap shootout. Will we see a green-white checkered? Will we see another yellow? Or will we see us clean and green to the finish? Off and away we go. Lap 25 to 26. Green flag is in the air. Ryan Barone, Logan Williams, Austin Green to the inside of the 33. Big lunge. So does Jerry Chen. He follows. That's going to be massive to see if they can make positions up that way.
Yeah, little mind games are being played during the restarts.
Chase Gibbons in the 14. We haven't mentioned him all day. He's sitting in the top 10. Justin Haley as well in the 99. He's in the top 10 for the first time today. And the 51 of Michael Guthrie has succumbed to second place, or fifth place. Oh, hard in the wall is Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. We're going to stay green. Wow, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Big slide out of the 68 of
3 wide.
3 wide right here with 2 of your cars, Joe. They're going to sort it out here. Hunter Collier gets ahead of Zachary Pons. That's the 84 of Strokey Banger and the 16 as well. Around goes
Just terrible luck for the 08 car.
Bad luck. We stay green so far throughout the field. And onwards and forwards through the field, the 01 of Norris Told. He's got some damage as the 48 of Ricardo Garcia. This is for within the top 20. He's battling alongside. The final lap White flag is out. I meant to go back to this earlier. We're on board with the 17. He's all over this back bunker of Ryan Barone. The 33 of Robbie Gordov has moved his way into 5th place. Michael Guthrie, our points leader, has fallen to 6th. And the second driver, second in points, Logan Williams. If he stays in second, he will take the points lead, but he doesn't want the points lead. He wants the win, but that's Tyler Cook all over his back bumper.
Hey, even if he finishes second, I think this is a win for the 17 team. Just bring it home.
That's a clean race car, too, from that 17 camp. But Ryan Barone has led flag to flag, the Cary, North Carolina driver, into the final corner. He has gapped the 17 cars. Now the yellow flag has been displayed for a stopped car on the racetrack. Ryan Barone, from underdog to hero. He's going to take the victory and take the win here at Sonoma.
Well done, Ryan Barone. As it looks like a caution is out. The starter has a checker flag and the caution flag.
Yep, the yellow flag was displayed for a stopped race car. We're going to take a look at what happened with Greenhouse. It's got shipped. Oh, shipped by Jordan Madron there. And then here's what happened with the 08. Oh, going curb hopping there.
Wow. Just a little bit of arrogance going on there. They just didn't want to give up that spot. That's what happens.
Oh.
Ooh, hard hit.
That's Visconti hard into the wall.
Driver's side, too. Jeez, I hope he's okay.
And that was what brought out the yellow, was Visconti's incident for being stuck on the wall. Safety crews have gotten to him. They've given us the thumbs up. We'll get a word from Visconti to see if he's okay later on. But the 46 of Barone, after that wild last 2 laps, was able to hold off a lot of those guys. Logan Williams, Tyler Cook, Christopher Murnell, and he takes the win. How about Austin Green, Jerry Chen, Justin Haley, Chase Gibbons? They made those bold moves on those final restarts and were able to move positions up. Quentin Haley in 12th. He started towards the back half of that field. That 31 car finally putting together a good run. 14 Ian McDaniel as well. Did well as we see the rest of the results.
Yeah, much needed top 15 finish for that 6th group.
A much not needed 30th place finish for Garrett Lamar. The driver who had 3 wins at 3 different road courses in season number 2 has had an average finish of basically 30th at road courses this season. Is our former road course king washed? Garrett Lamar just hasn't had the success here.
Yeah, he's too busy on Twitter anyways. He's probably tweeting and driving.
Absolutely. I would imagine so. We're going to take a look at what our point standings look like. And as I predicted, that's a 1-point points lead for Logan Williams, who's retaken the points lead for the first time in quite a while. Sitting there top of the point standings over Michael Guthrie, Marnell has moved his way into 3rd place. Santiago Nicholas had a poor day, has fallen to 4th. Guo has closed the gap to 5th. Robbie Gordoff has moved his way into 6th place. Look at that. Zachary Ponce, Hunter Collier, 8th and 9th. Got 2 Fords sitting there in the top 10 in points. Standings, and Barone has moved his way to 13th. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it makes me happy seeing them.
I'm glad, Joe. As we see that red line on the point standings list, that's our cutoff line. Our current number to beat is 298. So 298 is how many points it is. If you're underneath 298, you are currently eliminated. And if you want to do the math yourself, do the math at home, just add 60 for next week, and that's where the cut line will be next weekend. So we'll have a graphic next weekend showing where our bubble is in the point standings for a lot of those guys. Reed Simpson, Ian McDaniel, and those others. I mean, Matthew Fastnot, Justin Haley, Blake Walker, Aaron Giffen. Aaron Giffen with a win earlier this season at the risk of falling below that cut line and having their season ended early. It's going to happen to everybody at some point except for one, but for some of those drivers, their season will end early. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a storyline to follow for next week, and yeah, very entertaining points racing today, actually, Tyson. You seen Michael and Logan Williams? They were just going back and forth between the points lead and all that. And look, hey, Guthrie fading on those last two restarts, that can make or break the difference between the title. But just something that the Guthrie team can't do is just hang their hats about this. They still got a top 10. So yeah, this will be very interesting to watch with Marnell closing. We're ready to see what happens, man. LimeCar has brought a good product this year.
Absolutely. I mean, Marnell closing in. We've got Gordoff as the newsstand has talked about it a lot this week. So has Gordoff. 34th to 6th now in the standings for Robbie Gordoff over the last 10 races or so.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski, take notes.
That's impressive. He's having a very Ian McDaniel type of season, where Ian McDaniel was about 28th in points before making his way to second. But that Robbie Gordoff, I think he needs a few wins to be able to solidify himself as a championship contender. But that 33 car has been strong, and they have not had wrecks, which is critical for, honestly, any sort of championship success. We saw Logan Williams faded a little bit in the midpoint of the season. Santiago Nicholas has been fading. Aris Yuko. Haven't really seen much of Aris Yuko recently. It's gonna be a good final 4 races, especially with the next ones coming up. We've got quite a few good bit of races in the next little bit. We have Kansas, Talladega, Texas, and Homestead. Those are going to be good ones to watch.
Yeah, and I'm ready for Talladega. I'm just ready for the curveball that it's going to present this late in the season. You mentioned Gordoff. Something I noticed late in the race, he kind of closed. Yeah, he didn't win the race, but he was the closer there at the end, slowly but surely making his way through the field and got himself a top 5. Like, hey, that's what makes or breaks your championship run. So
absolutely. And we're driving that Busch scheme, the Kevin Harvick inspired Busch Light scheme. Could Robbie Gordoff be our closer for this season? We'll find out. Thank you guys for joining us. Joe, any final words, any final thoughts after today's race? It was certainly not boring, as you mentioned earlier. I think it was quite an entertaining race.
Thank you, Sonoma, for produced a pretty good race. I can't lie. I'm sorry. Marcus Smith may have some words with me, but besides that, I mean, make sure you watch the final 4 races for everybody that's tuning in. It's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah. What about you?
I'm just excited for the 4 best tracks on the schedule to be our final 4 races. Kansas had a banger race last year. Talladega had a banger race last year. Texas should be great as always. And then Homestead, it's Homestead. So maybe throw Gateway in there. We'd have our 5 best racetracks that we go to, but I think it's going to be a great final stretch of the season.
Yes, sir.
All right. From all of us here in the LimeCar booth, we thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to our podcast for the last few minutes of the race. And we will see you guys next week. Don't go listening to any fake news on Twitter. And don't go riling up any Argentinians.
Yeah, just like Garrett Lamar. Don't be like him.